All right, everyone. So thanks for joining our webinar and welcome to Penny. We're thrilled to have you with us and look forward to supporting your growth. And at Penny, we're more than just a life insurance and annuity BGA. We're a true partner focused on helping agents like you save time, simplify operations, and boost your bottom line. And here's what you get when you work with us. You get top-tier underwriting and case design support, a dedicated A team to handle your applications and follow-ups, free access to our CRM, Insurio, streamlined tools like iGo and Firelight to make submissions effortless, and ongoing training and business development support. And our mission is simple to make your business run smoother and more efficiently. So we're excited to partner with you and help you take your business to the next level. And now I'll turn the mic over to Keelan.
Thank you, Chris. I appreciate it. I just want to say thank you for allowing me to jump on here. I am very honored to be a part of the Penny team here, and I'll give you a little background. I am a native of Texas, and I've been in the insurance business for about 25 years now. So all the way from owning my own farmers agency to being an independent agency agent, working with also with a company called Security National Life, which is where my final expense background comes from to a degree, and then back around all the way to Penny. So anyways, I wanted to just bring some thought processes today wrapped around the whole life and final expense. So here is kind of the things, here's my why, and I just wanted to tell you my whys is that I believe in the insurance business, we don't sell, we serve. And there's a little bit different of a feeling when you transition and you finally say, you know what, I want to serve my people versus I want to sell you something. So you're not really going out on the street and going, hey, would you like to buy insurance? Would you like to, don't you want to, buy this? Don't you need this? It's more of a serve. It's more of a servant attitude as to, are you good? Are you taken care of? Are your needs taken care of? And, I want to be able to lay my head on the pillow every night and say, everybody that I talk to, that I am the insurance professional, and I at least gave them a chance to respond to me and say, no, Keelan, I'm good. Or, well, I do need this, or let's talk about it. But so I do believe an insurance advisor is a servant, and we serve people. And final expense is one of those products that is really, needed. It is really well receptive in for a lot of clients. And I think it is our duty as agents and advisors to ask people, have you ever thought about these things? So I'm going to give you quite a bit of material today on the PowerPoint, and I want you just to kind of write down, if you will, for me, write down 2 or 3 things that maybe stuck out in your mind. Maybe your takeaways are, you know what, I'm going to start asking people that, or you know what, I'm going to go talk to my family about this. My mother and my father, right now I'm dealing with my father's on hospice, and he's 81 years old. And so luckily he had some insurance, and to take care of him when he passes. But lots of times, in these events, the husband or the wife is taking care of the business and it's just not enough, or they forgot to buy it, or it lapsed, or it's just a lot of objections that we run across. But I think with final expense and with whole life, I think it is a product that you can go out in the streets, anywhere you go, and talk to people about. Even talking to young people, hey, is your mom and dad, have you ever thought about when they pass away, are they taken care of? Are they good? What about your grandma? Are they good? I want to make sure that I offer this to you, because whole life is a guaranteed premium. It's a great product, and you'll see some of that coming forward. And we have some great carriers and that we have in place for the whole life for final expense. So I want to start here, if I can share my screen here. And we'll get started. Give me 2 seconds to get this done. I'm going to move this over here, and then we're going to start the slideshow. And again, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to do this, and we're going to go slideshow from the beginning. Okay, so this is really entitled Best Practices for Selling Final Expense Life Insurance. So again, you're going to see some stuff that may be like, I knew that, or I didn't know that, but I want you to take away maybe just 3 things today that you can use this afternoon as you're moving through the final expense, potential world and your people around there. So A couple of questions that I get asked all the time, like, what do I ask people when I'm out there? What is a good starting point? So a couple of these things that you may want to use here. Now, for example, Bill, do you currently have any life insurance in place? Okay, this just opens the door for the discussion. So, do you currently have? A lot of people, oh yeah, well I got some at work, or oh yeah, I think we have some, or I think Mama takes care of that, or whatever it may be. But it always comes down to, do you have any life insurance in place? And what happens after you leave work? Are you still going to have something? Okay. What happens if you get sick and you're not uninsurable? Okay. Second of all, what would you want your policy to take care of when that time comes? And we're going to talk about that a lot, because a lot of people don't realize the things that come along when people pass away, not just the funeral, not just the casket, but a lot of other things that are involved in the expenses that people go through when somebody passes away. They just don't think about it because they're not ready to talk about it yet, or I don't want to talk about it, or or this is an omen, somebody's going to pass away. No, it's not. So we're going to talk about that a little bit too. Here's the third question too. Almost everybody in the final expense world, when you start talking to them, have had a situation to where their parents, their aunts, their uncles, their spouses, whoever has passed away, and they did not have enough coverage or any coverage, or maybe they had plenty of coverage and they're happy with it. So when you start asking these questions, have you ever had a family? Tell me about a time when somebody in your family might have passed away and you didn't have enough, and or maybe you did have enough and it was a good deal. Number 4, talk about your budget. Mr. and Mrs. Jones, I mean, it always comes up, and in the budget process is that if I could produce a policy and produce some coverage, is there room in your budget where we could fit this in to make sure that you keep this the rest of your life, to where when you pass away, not if, because final expense is not an if, it's a when. It's a when you pass away, where there's 100% chance we're all going to pass away. So it's not if, it's when you pass away. Okay. Who's going to be responsible for handling your final arrangements? Look at number 5. What a question out there. As you get into it, who's going to be responsible? Who is your beneficiary? Who's going to be in charge when you pass away? And sometimes we find in final expense is that if the person is just being ornery and they're going, well, I'm not going to do any of that because I've been taking care of my family all my life and they can just bury me in a pine box out in the yard. Those old statements, we get those a lot, and those are coming up a lot. Well, then at that point in time, you may want to say, well, who are you going to leave these things to? Well, my son. Well, then perfect. I'd like to visit with your son, because lots of times that son is the one that purchases the policy for the parent. And so, because they don't want to get stuck with the cost. So we find that a lot too. Don't always stop when somebody says that's maybe 70 or 75. Well, no, I don't need any, and so say, hey, who's going to be responsible? And you might want to talk to that person from a standpoint of protection. And in the blue, really important as you deal with maybe people in their 50s to 85. It is a touchy subject when you talk about death and passing away. So always really listen, and take notes. And trust is a big thing in final expense, because they are trusting you with the last policy maybe they ever buy, or the only policy they ever buy. So that is important also. Okay, so we're gonna go next slide. Understanding your market. Final expense is typically for people 50 to 80. Okay, and you want to tailor your message to their needs. What are your needs? I mean, is it your cash accumulation within your policy? Is it the final expense? Is it the death? What are your needs? What are your concerns? And are they taken care of? And how can I help you take care of that? Costs. A lot of people don't realize the costs that come along with passing away. They just think, well, maybe I just want to be cremated. Well, that's fine. A lot of people want to be cremated because they want to be cremated. A lot of people want to be cremated because they don't have enough insurance or enough coverage to have the proper burial that they would want to have. I mean, lots of times it happens. Well, I would love to have a big funeral and a big something for mom, but we just don't have the money to do it. So we're just gonna cremate her, and that's okay. But again, with final expense, when that policy is there are options to create that joyful, memory of life for mom or dad.